So our top 5 this week for the first week in December is all about history and the history of week commencing the 7th of December. So tell me, Adam, take it away. What's the first thing on our list this week in the past?
Okay, so in 1948, on the 10th of December, a blueprint for human rights was adopted. And so the United Nations General Assembly met in Paris and adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which is the first global document setting out fundamental rights and freedoms for all humans, regardless of nationality, race, or religion. And it basically came, I guess, after World War II, because there was so much just horrific stuff that went on. And they said, okay, we need to put into paper that everybody has this list as a right, no matter what, and should never be denied certain things.
And it's something that obviously has made a big change to how the world works. And I guess in some small way has led to people like Ed the Shed being able to build their world's fastest shed. and nobody say that is not a pursuit that he should follow through with.
Indeed, it is his God-given right as a human being to make a shed go 123 miles an hour.
And maybe the next bit is, rights for seals, that they are allowed to go into bars and have a drink. But this seal was underage, so you can understand why they had to remove him from the craft beer place.
And it's also it's also your right to provocatively wave salmon at a seal should you want to.
Absolutely, yeah. It's one of the things that I'm allowed to do. So what's next on the list?
Okay, well, going back to the 12th of December, 1901, Italian inventor Marconi claimed to have received the first transatlantic wireless radio signal. So this was in St. John's, Newfoundland, and they sent the Morse code letter S from Hull to Cornwall over about 3,400 kilometers. And so, yeah, the announcement electrified the public, even though some scientists at the time and since have questioned it. Because and we still don't properly know. He said, yep, I send a signal all the way across the Atlantic, and I heard the Morse code for S being transmitted. But a lot of scientists since and then were like, wouldn't work. But
Wow.
There's no way you could send a radio signal of the kind that he was using that far. But there was a slight chance, apparently, and so there's still a bit of debate.
Well, it's 26-1 as well, so it could have just been a lucky guess. I've had teams come in on the World Cup score where I've said it'll be 4-1 to Switzerland, and at 26-1 it's come in. So it's possible, but it's also true that nobody really fully understands how some of those things work, right? It's like no one person really understands exactly how all of the parts of the infrastructure work, so that I can call you, or me and you can be sat in 2 separate places now on video, thankfully not cutting out, and being able to record this podcast for these lovely people.
And it is amazing that tiny beep was the ancestor to smartphones, satellite, internet, and doom scrolling in bed.
Yeah, thanks very much, Marconi.
Oh, and one thing that you said about 26-1, sometimes on TV you'll see like a magician, and there'll be a magic show, whatever, and it'll be recorded for TV, and I'll go to someone and be like, think of a card. Was it the 2 of diamonds? And they'll go, wow, yeah. When you're recording for TV, you ask 52 people, probably you'll get it right eventually.
There we go. The destroyer of magic. Thank you. That's you not getting into the magic circle ever anytime soon. Okay, number 3.
Okay, well, this is the mother of all demos. So on the 9th of December, 1968, there was an engineer called Douglas Engelbart, and he gave a 90-minute live presentation in San Francisco that became known as the mother of all demos. And he showed all in this presentation, the computer mouse, the idea of Windows, not the Microsoft thing, but anyway, hypertext, video conferencing, word processing, and collaborative editing. So basically, in this one presentation, he introduced to the world everything that we still know and use about computers in 1968.
Was he the same guy who said computers were going to get 10 times bigger and 10 times more expensive, or was that a different presentation?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe you just threw that in at the end. Or maybe we're just focusing on the things that he got right.
Yeah. Or maybe, we live in a simulation and he'd just come from the future back to tell us about computers.
Which, as we know, we proved that the simulation is real last week until next week when we disprove it. So, yeah, I think...
Take that, Steve Jobs.
Exactly. Okay, well, I guess that brings us on to number 4, dropping into Jupiter. So on the 7th of December, 1995, NASA's Galileo.
Galileo.
Just got to drop that in there. But that released an atmospheric probe, and that plunged into Jupiter's atmosphere. And that was transmitting data for about 58 minutes before it was just completely destroyed by the pressure and heat of Jupiter. But it gave scientists unprecedented information on Jupiter's winds, composition, and structure. And it was just a really cool moment. When you think about it, it still always baffles me how, well, it doesn't baffle me, but I still find it amazing that we can do some of these things. And just sending something out there so precisely to have it just fall into another planet's atmosphere and send back data.
Yeah, when you think at some point we didn't know how to create fire or sparks or, cure a steak or whatever else, it's quite an incredible move. And we're just like, yeah, let's just spend a few billion on chucking this thing into Jupiter to figure some shit out.
Yeah, and it's just so amazing, really. And then sometimes, especially in the UK, you'll get things like public transport or different government agencies, and it just seems so chaotic and badly managed. And you're like, come on, humans can do really cool stuff. Can you not just get a bit of inspiration and not make the train break down so many times in a day?
I totally agree. Yeah. Now bring us home with number 5. What's the 5th in history this week?
And number 5. So the 13th of December, 1776. It's going back a little bit. But during the American Revolutionary War, General Charles Lee, who was captured by the British at WWII's Tavern, which was in New Jersey, after straying from his troops. So he's basically in charge of this kind of platoon. It's like a really big amount of soldiers. But yeah, later accounts say that he'd gone in search of a bit of female sociability rather than reinforcing George Washington as ordered.
Legend. Went on the sesh.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I guess it's tough being in a war and being in the general. You're in a position of a lot of responsibility, and he's just gone, that's it, I'm off to the boozer, gonna try and chat up some birds.
Especially wars back then. I mean, the amount of death rate in those kind of wars would have been quite insane. So yeah, fair play to him. He's a man after my own heart.
Is that what you do in the same position?
Absolutely.
Just
absolutely. Abandon the troops.
Yeah, but they can look after themselves. It's fine.
Yeah, come back later and check in. War's won. Jobs are good. Yeah.
Nice one, lads. Where were you?
Incredible.
Need to take a bit of time out.
I love that. So that wraps us up for this week's top 5. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate you taking us through this week in history. So here we are at the end of another episode of Temporally Scripted. If you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget, share it with your friends, tell everyone you know, binge watch our other 400 episodes. We're not quite there yet. We are absolutely close to 50, but go and check it out. There's a wealth of interesting stuff in there. Anything you want to leave the audience with today, Adam?
Not really, other than that thing of, even if they know someone that they think would hate the show, just send it to them anyway, especially if it's someone they don't like. Just, oh no, this really good thing, you should watch this.
Yeah, and we might get more trolls, which we'd love. You know, trolls are a sign of success.
Because it's good fun.
Well, Adam, until next time.
Yeah, until next time, my friend.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.